Hey everybody, how you doing? It's your boy Dollar, aka Rich Taylor, bringing you another episode or iteration of Hump Day Heroes. We have a pretty fun show on the slate. This is episode number 23. New comic book day, speculation and investment books to be on the lookout for tomorrow for DC. Wednesday, Marvel and everything else, and then some last minute FOC picks. Yeah. So let's go ahead and remind you guys, if you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you would share this content and tag Popcorn Culture with a one instead of an L, and I can track what you have been doing or supporting the channel and me and my friends as well. House of Stein, Beyond Wednesdays, and of course, it's Drunken Chat Son with Mel. And then I could give your like secondary market or brand a shout out, on one of our live stream or videos or shows across the internet. But yeah, like this content, give us a thumbs up. Appreciate it. Leave me a comment or question, and positive or negative, I don't care. Constructive criticism is highly welcomed over here. Let's get in here. All right, so the first story on the slate is DC Studios co-CEO weighs in on competing with Marvel Studios. So basically, Marvel versus DC has been going on for a long time, as you guys know. Seemingly, according to the article, Marvel versus DC is seemingly half of what makes the internet the internet. There's always been a competition on who has the coolest hero, the best character developments, the most iconic moments, and or whatever a nerdy brain can think of. Yet it's a very different picture for those involved in trying to make these companies and their projects, meaning, adaptation, media, stuff like that, a success. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has very openly stated that he hopes to see DC succeed, as he believed it was beneficial to everyone, especially in the pop culture community, who watches these comic book movies or enjoys. You don't even have to be in the pop culture community; just anybody who enjoys these adaptation Marvel and DC movies. Continuing on, and now DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn has echoed those same words. James Gunn believes that every movie Marvel has is sort of an advertisement for comic book films and vice versa, end quote. He went on and continued and said, I think it's the opposite. To be frank, I think the better Marvel movies do, it's better for DC, and better for it's and the better DC movies do, it's better for Marvel, meaning Marvel in general, Marvel Comics, Marvel Studios, Marvel Toys, so on and so forth. Continuing on what James Gunn was saying, quote, when people see bad movies, they don't want to spend more money on seeing more movies, especially if they think they're bad. So you want good movies to happen, whether it be DC or Marvel, especially since we're making 2 or 3 movies a year at the DCEU. I don't know if that includes DCAU. That's the animation cinematic universe for DC. Continue on what James said. So every movie that Marvel has is sort of an advertisement for comic book films and vice versa. And you don't want to scare off people from going to the theater. COVID scared off people enough. No need for us to continue that. And if we're both making good movies, that's the best of all situations, which keeps the ball bouncing back and forth. So basically, what he's saying is it creates what's like a snowball effect. If one cinematic universe, DC, is doing well, then it would be ideal for Marvel Cinematic Universe to feed off of it, and vice versa. Of course, Marvel, I mean, the precedent is set. Marvel Cinematic Universe is the real deal. That's kind of like the mean, like, you got to be as good or better than this. So that's good for DC. And hopefully with James Gunn in the seat, in the driver's seat on both cinematic universes, maybe they can feed off each other and we can get better movies in the future. Because I'm going to be frank, Phase 4 sucked. And yeah, so at least James Gunn knows what needs to happen, and I think that's pretty damn cool. I'm going to go ahead and remove this, and let's get to the chat. Hey, everybody, Sith Rule, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining. Wookie Fodder, hey, what's up, man? What's going on, Rich? Hey, what's up, Wookie Fodder? Jersey to the Bay, thank you very much. What's up, Dollar? What's going on? Just have a quick show, like an hour or less. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story. Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy 3's James Gunn believes in superhero fatigue, which I think is really, really interesting. Thank you, Jersey Bay. I appreciate you. James Gunn. This was from today, and this article was dropped on Charles Murphy's site. Superhero fatigue. We talk about it all the time, guys. Right? Superhero fatigue has been all the rage right now, mostly due to some pointing out that they've seemingly reached their limits and reading too much into box office performances of two distinct projects earlier this year. Shazam! Fury of the God couldn't pull in an audience and opened with a depressing 30 million, while Ant-Man 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, lost steam surprisingly fast after a bombastic opening. We can blame that on a few things, but anyways, continuing. While there's more to this given just how superhero films performed last year, James Gunn gave his thoughts on the topic and seemingly believes that there is such a thing. Yet he points out that it's not as simple as, quote, superhero movies, end quote, but rather spectacle films that lack the heart that really drags us into these stories. James Gunn went on and said, I think there is such a thing as superhero fatigue. I think it doesn't have anything to do with superheroes. It has to do with the kind of stories that get to be told. And if you lose your eye on the ball or drop the ball, which is character. So basically what he's saying is that, yeah, he's saying what we all say, guys, superhero fatigue, but it's not just the character. It's the context of the source material around the character, the story. It's the story around the character. And that's what, especially us readers, we're craving for. We want better stories around these characters, okay? Especially these cheesy characters, these mashup characters. If you're going to do these mashup cheesy characters, at least have a good story connected to it. Anyways, continuing, James Gunn went on and said, we love Superman. We love Batman. We love Iron Man because they're these incredible characters that we have in our hearts. And if it becomes just a bunch of nonsense on screen, it gets really boring. But I get fatigued by most spectacle films by the grind of not having an emotionally grounded story. It doesn't have anything to do with whether they're superhero movies or not. If you don't have a story at the base of it, just watching things bash each other, no matter how clever those bashing moments are, no matter how clever the designs and the VFX are, no matter how awesome the character is, it just gets fatiguing. And I think that's very, very real. I like that. And I'm 100%. This source of this story is, you can find it in Rolling Stone magazine today. So Rolling Stone magazine is a trade, not a scooper. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. I agree with him 100%. All right. Spider-Man No Way Home. There is a full 8-character Funko set that has just been revealed over the weekend. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys. You guys all remember the scene on the right. This was like I think the scene on the right was like a leaked. It was like a leaked photo of the movie before it came out. And then when we saw the movie, that's almost exactly what happened. So you got the Sandman on the right. He's flexing his alter ego there. You got Lizard over here jumping after one Spider-Man. You got Electro up here going after another Spider-Man. You got all 3 Spider-Mans. But here you go on the left. Here's the Funko set right here. I know that the image is a little squished. Let me see if I can get you a better one. Here you go. So basically here is the new Funko set. It's them fighting on the, what do you call that? Contractors. My dad would know the name of it. Scandaline, or what is that thing called that they were fighting on? I forgot what it's called, but anyways, So it looks like we're going to get 3 Spider-Mans in this new Funko set. We're going to get the Lizard, we're going to get Electro, we're going to get Sandman, and they're saying that we're going to get Green Goblin and Doc Ock. So scaffolding. Thank you, Ted. Hey, what's going on, Ted? Thanks for joining. So yeah, the scaffolding, which was a really cool scene. That was really exciting. So yeah, all you Funko people that are interested, here's what they look like on the left. That's what the scaffolding is. You can see Doc Ock. You can see the new Green Goblin. That's the Spider-Man 3 version with William Dafoe. And then you got the 3 Spider-Mans. You have Electro. You have Mysterio. You see his arm on the left. I think that's Mysterio, right? Or maybe not. I don't know. But very interesting. Maybe it's not. I don't think it is Mysterio. So you have Sandman, Lizards, 3 Spider-Mans, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, and Electro. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So this is a movie poster that just dropped today. New Guardians of the Galaxy poster revealed. A collection of new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 posters were released today. As marketing ramps up for the MCU 3 after James Gunn flew the Marvel coop at the end of last year, taking on a role as co-CEO of as DC Studios, it becomes even more clear that Guardians 3 will be the quote end of the chapter for the Guardians of the Galaxy family, end quote. The marketing of the intergalactic blockbuster has played into the sense of finality. I don't even know that was a word. The first 2 trailers for the film sport this melancholic tone that sentiments like, quote, one last ride, end quote, being uttered by Guardians multiple times. And with another Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer seemingly on the horizons, the Guardians promotional tour seems primed and ready to begin in the earnest. So this new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 poster revealed. What do you guys think? Let's take a look at it. So we got Cosmos, right? That's Cosmos the dog. He's in his uniform. We got Nebula. We got Star-Lord. We have Mantis, Rocket Raccoon. You got Groot. You got James Gunn's brother. I forgot his character name. Drax the Destroyer, and Gamora. But is she Gamora in this film, or is she Requiem? Or whatever. So I like that. I like the poster. I really would like to get it for my wall. It's the same old shit, but it's a really cool poster. I like the colors. All right. So Marvel Studios Secret Invasion first plot synopsis is officially released, guys. Marvel Studios just shared new details on the story that fans can expect in the MCU's first Disney Plus series of Phase 5, Secret Invasion, with its official synopsis. Secret Invasion looks to take its place as possibly the MCU's biggest adventure to date on Disney Plus, with loads of new information being revealed ahead of its recently confirmed January 21st release date. Remember, that's subject to change as well. Labeled as the MCU's first official streaming crossover event, this show, Secret Invasion, on D+, will bring the wildly popular Skrull invasion from the comics storyline to life as Nick Fury and Talos look to keep rogue aliens from infiltrating and taking over the planet. And with Disney and Marvel moving forward with the show's promotional tour, Marvel fans are anxious to see exactly what this new entry will bring to the small screen. Marvel Studios shares Secret Invasion synopsis here, along with the release of the brand new trailer for Marvel Studios Secret Invasion. Disney Plus revealed the show's first official synopsis, which describes the series as espionage thriller. So let's see here. Let's see if we can find the. Let me see if I can find the new trailer. Let me see. No, I don't know. We'll find it in a second. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the synopsis because I like these. Let's see here. Marvel Studios confirmed that the title takes place in the present day of the MCU. So Marvel Studios is confirming, guys, that this takes place to Secret Invasion for all you speculators and chronological people. This takes place present day in the MCU. As Nick Fury joins forces with Everett Ross from the CIA, Maria Hill from S.H.I.E.L.D., and his Skrull ally, Ben Mendelsohn's Talos, in order to stop the Skrull invasion and save humanity. In Marvel Studios' new series, Secret Invasion, set in the present day MCU, Nick Fury learns of a clandestine invasion of Earth by a faction of shape-shifting Skrulls. Fury joins his allies, including Everett Ross, Maria Hill, and the Skrull, Talos, who has made a life for himself on Earth. Together, they race against time to thwart an imminent Skrull invasion and save humanity. How will Disney Plus's Secret Invasion, or how dark will Disney Plus's Secret Invasion get? With Secret Invasion being one of the darker and more mature storylines from Marvel Comics, many are hoping for a similar vibe from its Disney Plus counterpart on the small screen. But considering the use of the term espionage thriller in its synopsis, potentially teasing the feel of something like Captain America Winter Soldier, this may be exactly what the fandom has been looking for. This also comes right after Marvel Studios delivered the second full look at the show with a brand new trailer that just dropped over the weekend, highlighted by Emilia Clarke's thrilling character, Gia. The new footage, Gia's first appearance is in Meet the Skrulls #1, and then her name reveal is in Meet the Skrulls #4, just to let you know. Continuing on, the new footage teased a world that is quickly becoming as dangerous as the MCU has ever been in present day and the past, thanks to the Skrull invasion. Along with some epic new Skrull powers that were teased, Secret Invasion will bring that spy thriller feel that fans have loved over the years, thanks to Nick Fury's work along Maria Hill and Everett Ross. It will also provide the opportunity for plenty of wild reveals, with Gia, played by the Dragon Queen herself, Emilia Clarke, fighting against her own people as viewers look out for which MCU characters could end up being Skrull imposters. No matter how the final details fall into place, Marvel is in for an epic event of epic proportions, with even the show's cast and crew themselves in disbelief of what's on the way. Honestly, I feel like before the was it D23 was the first time that what is that trailer came out, because I feel like none of us were excited for this project, Secret Invasion, until that trailer came out from, I believe it was D23, San Diego or D23, I can't remember. But and then once the trailer came out, everybody's super excited, and now I think the MCU has gotten that have gotten that notification from their fans, like, hey, they're feeding off that, so they're really pumping this, hoping it's a nice bounce back from a upsetting Phase 4. All right, for all you Chris Evans fans, you're gonna like this one, of course. Chris Evans gets honest about potential Marvel comeback, and he once again addresses MCU return possibilities. During a panel at the C2E2 this last weekend, Captain America actor Chris Evans, via the Laughing Place podcast and website, talked about potentially returning as Steve Rogers in future MCU project or projects. When asked about a possible comeback, Evans responded by saying, quote, "It's tough," end quote, noting how much the role means to him. He went on and elaborated to that and said, "It's tough because, look, I love that role deeply. Captain America, Steve Rogers, he means so much to me, and I really do love this role," end quote. While the MCU veteran said that he thinks that there are more Steve Rogers stories to tell in the MCU and on TV or film, Chris Evans pointed out that he doesn't want to mess it up in any way. He continued by saying, quote, "Do I think there are more Steve Rogers stories to tell? Sure. But at the same time, I'm very, very precious with it. It's like this shiny thing that I have that I love so much, and I just don't want to mess it up in any way," end quote. It's kind of like it's like a 9/8 Incredible Hulk 181. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, Evans then reflected on his special time in the MCU throughout Phase 1 through 3 as Steve Rogers, before saying that quote, "It doesn't quite feel right," end quote, to return right now. He went on and ended by saying, "And I was part of something that was so special for a really special period of time. to a lot of people, including myself. And in a way, it really landed so well. I don't know. As much as I'm connected to that role and love telling these Steve Rogers stories of working with those people, it doesn't quite feel right now. In January of 2021, Deadline reported that Evans is expected to reprise his MCU role in some form, stating that the comeback will happen in at least one Marvel property with the door open for a second film. Evans then reacted to aforementioned report on Twitter by replying by quote tweeting the reply as it was news to him. So if you guys don't remember, Daniel RPK had a scoop that basically said that that Hydra Cap was in play. It was in 2020, 2021. And then Deadline in January of 2021 ran with the story and said that he would be returning in some kind of adaptation media project by Marvel Studios. But they didn't mention Hydra Cap. But a lot of people are speculating on Hydra Cap. I guess your first appearance would be that Captain America second print where he says "Hell Hydra." But anyways, we'll get into that later. Will Chris Evans return as Steve Rogers? Chris Evans' latest comments suggest he is at peace with not returning as Steve Rogers in the MCU. However, his acknowledgement that there are more stories to tell about Steve Rogers, the character, on screen, TV, or streaming, could offer a glimmer of hope for a comeback. Evans admitted that he misses portraying the Star-Spangled Avenger, Steve Rogers, with him calling it, quote, one of the greatest joys of his life, end quote. To embody a role like that in a movie, the actor's previous remark may have hinted. Okay. Sam Wilson, actor Anthony Mackie, previously addressed if Steve Rogers is dead in the MCU, with him saying that he thinks that he is still alive since nobody has saw him die. Mackey's comments only added fuel to the possibility of seeing Chris Evans back as Captain Steve Rogers, or maybe Hydra Cap, in Captain America 4. So pretty cool. That came from the direct, just so you guys know. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the chat here. What's up, Jersey Bay? He says, I enjoyed the trailer. Just the cast alone gives me some hopes for the show. So he's talking about Secret Invasion. I totally agree. Righteous Flipper, what's up, man? Hoza, $1. Remind me of Mel when you say that. Righteous Flipper goes on and says, these traditional characters will always be around. They are embedded in the psyche of collectors and average Americans. It is the cultural times that I believe he made that comment. Very cool. Righteous Flippers alluded to that by saying he is very liberal in his approach to cinema and its relation to the themes that are on American minds. Captain America will be a minority or a female. So Righteous Flipper is saying that if there is a Captain, and please correct me if I'm wrong. So you're saying that if a Captain America returns to film, a series adaptation, it will probably be a different version, and in one of these versions that will be a minority or a female. So we already have a minority Captain America now, which is Sam Wilson. So yeah, that's a good take. And then what do I always say? Read the tea leaves. It seems like recently, over the last 3-4 years, there's been all these female type Captain Americas in different versions. So yeah, very cool, very good comment. Righteous Flippers agrees, says yes, not the Sam Wilson version. Gotcha. All right, let's get back into this, guys. So we have some news on Daredevil Born Again, guys. Let's see here. So let me pull this up here. It's not news, it's a theory. The Punisher factors into Daredevil Born Again. This is coming from the Cosmic Circus, which is a pretty decent website. If you guys don't remember or did not see Bryan McClay's show when I brought up the Marvel Studios spoilers, tiers of who they trust and who they don't. Cosmic Circus was on upper tier, so I want to go ahead and go through this with you. How the Punisher factors into Daredevil Born Again. Marvel Studios is hard at work developing its street-level heroes, which began with shows like Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we already know that. Daredevil Born Again is the latest project from this microcosm filming, and it sounds like it's going to be a game changer for our street-level superheroes and the cities they protect. In one of our quote "What I Heard" posts from earlier this week, Alex Perez breaks down Kingpin's rise to power, which begins in the upcoming Echo, creating some major problems for Matt Murdock and his friend. Of those friends, John Bernthal, Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, who is returning in Daredevil Born Again. So let me get on to the next slide. He goes on and says that this gentleman right here, Daredevil's reboot, played with Wilson Fisk's Kingpin, is set to reveal a new scary role. And this is from, let me see, Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this is news. So basically, let me read this to you. So the MCU is a vast interconnected narrative encompassing many characters, settings, and storylines. To keep this sprawling narrative organized and coherent, the MCU divides its overall story between different levels for movies and shows, ranging from simple street-level heroes to cosmic-level superheroes with multiverse-changing implications. As the MCU continues to delve into the multiverse saga, one might be tempted to skip ahead on projects that focus on the multiverse. However, Phase 5 will have a remarkable opportunity to go back to basics. In the coming years, Marvel will be delving more into street-level stories, street-level superheroes, and villains as well, with projects like Echo, Daredevil Born Again, Captain America New World Order, or Captain America 4, The Thunderbolts, Armor Wars, and Spider-Man 4. These projects will focus on grounding and relatable stories to audiences that invoke specific topics that might seem muted compared to stories that are often grander in the scale. So street-level heroes versus guys like the Century and stuff like that, like cosmic heroes. And in today's What I Heard post, this is from Cosmic Circus, centered around Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin. I'll discuss how one of these stories may be one of the best street level stories the MCU will present if executed correctly. So this is looks like a theory. But this is springing along from a podcast interview with Vincent D'Onofrio. And basically what they're stating is this, guys. I'll just put it in a nutshell so you don't have to hear me, read with marbles in my mouth. They're saying that, okay, so what they're saying, this right here is where Wilson Fisk gets elected. He wins the election for Mayor Fisk. Okay. This scene is out of Daredevil 595. And according to the Vincent D'Onofrio podcast interview, along with this person's theory, so it's not news, I guess you could take it as a rumor, Dot Connections or whatever from Cosmic Circus, he believes that this storyline is going to be one of the first storylines in Daredevil Born Again, the MCU D+ series. This is from Daredevil issue number 595. This is right now a cover price or under book on the secondary market. I mean, you might see a couple that are like $10, but I want to go over this with you. As you can see, it says on the top, Mayor Fisk Part 1. This is the Declan Shalvey 1 in 25. I really like this book right here. This is the 1 in 100. I believe this is Hildebrandt 1 in 100. And I like this one as well because it's got the Mayor Fisk and then it's got the homage of the kind of like the movie poster. Here is the second print, very rare, non-lenticular. I like a lot. Here are some investments that I think are really good prices. ASM 51, first cover appearance, second appearance, and partial origin of Wilson Fisk as Kingpin. I think this is an undervalued key issue that could pop if the Daredevil Born Again storyline goes, Daredevil Born Again MCU D plus series goes into the Mayor Fisk storyline. I think this one could pop. Super affordable and profit margin to be had. I just think this book is very undervalued. That's just my opinion. I think this is the third appearance of Wilson Fisk. This one also is dirt cheap. Number ASM 52. This is Daredevil number 170. First appearance of Kingpin in a Daredevil title. Another cheap book. You could probably get a really nice high raw copy for like 20, 25 bucks, maybe 30. There are Mark Jewelers edition variants available for this book. Part 2 of the MCU D plus Daredevil Born Again, Echo and Avenger Spec based on new reports. I really like the cover art as well. I think Frank Miller wrote this one, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he did the art though. Daredevil 191 is your first meeting and battle between Daredevil and Kingpin's Wilson Fisk. Newsstand Mark Jewelers editions available that are in circulation. Tough and high grade due to the mostly black cover in the spine area. So if you can see, if you find what that means, when I put something like that, that means if you can find a 9.8 that's cheap, let's say 100 or under, grab it. Don't even mess with the raw. Another book that's tied into that storyline, Daredevil 229. This is your first appearance of Sister Maggie Murdock, Daredevil's mother. Origin retold of Matt Murdock's Daredevil, where they, I believe in the guts, they implement and combine his new origin with Sister Maggie Murdock as his mother. Mark Jewelers editions, Canadian price variants and newsstands available. If you find a Canadian price variant, it'll say 95 cents, not 75 cents. This right here is the scene right here that Cosmic Circus is reporting is going to happen in Daredevil Born Again. And coming from this book right here, that is the guts of this book. So I went ahead and did a little bit of research. First appearance of Mayor Wilson Fisk. This is the first appearance of Kingpin as Mayor Wilson Fisk. Cover A, this is the first printing. Comichron.com reports 60K, give or take a few copies ordered by retailers. It actually says 58,292, but I always like to add like 3K to that. So like, let's say 62, 63K in circulation. Dope Bill Sienkiewicz cover. I don't know if I spelled Sienkiewicz right, but yeah. CGC census, 36 total copies graded on the census with 29.8s, but they're all signature series. There's only 4 blue label 9.8s of that book. So low pop on that, on the census, low pop. Here is the 1 in 50 Jack Kirby. It's a great book, cool cover, cuts the print down, but doesn't say anything about Mayor Fisk though. So I don't know if that's something we want to take a stab at when we are, possibly looking to flip once Mayor Fisk storyline hits the MCU. But I went ahead and covered it anyways. Dope Jack Kirby cover. This is a 1 in 50 Jack Kirby. Prefer the cover with Mayor Fisk on cover. Like I said, 21 CGC graded copies, including 11 9.8 blues and 7 9.6s. There you go. There's the census right there. There's 2 9.4s as well. 21 total, I think. This is the lenticular. It has, I believe, Uncanny X-Men 142, the second part of Days of Future Past, Rogue on the cover, but then it switches back. I don't like lenticulars, but I went ahead and checked the census anyways. A lot of these on the census, 116 graded copies and 77 blue labels. 21 signature series. Actually, that's not a lot at all, but it's still a lot for this cover, but it's the most by far. This is the Mike McCone. I'm not sure if this is a 1 in 10 because a lot of these headshot variants were 1 in 10. I'm not sure. There are 24 graded copies on the CGC census, and remember, Comichron's reporting 58,292. So we'll say 62K ordered by retailers, give or take a few. I don't like that. Ugly. I like this one. Declan Shalvey, 1 in 25 incentive variant. Love this color. And guys, look at it close. Look at the background. Looks like an Into the Spider-Verse homage, kind of, right? From the first episode. I mean, that version, that character looks like the character that was in Into the Spider-Verse. And look at the background. It's kind of cool. Declan Shalvey, classic cover art. Near mint raw copies selling for below ratio. CGC Senses has only 398 blue universal labels graded of this book. Here is the census right here. It says seven copies graded overall, and it looks like 398, 194, 192, and then a 98 and 96 signature series. That might be something you might want to take a stab at. That's cool. I can totally see a profit margin to be had on that. And I added a little math for this one, but I believe this one and the second print are probably the best bets, but you guys make your own decision. This is Daredevil $5.95. This is the 1 in 100 retailer incentive by, I believe, Hildebrandt. First appearance of Kingpin as Mayor Fisk, 100 copy incentive variant by Hildebrandt. Comicron.com reporting 60K orders. So we already talked about this. So we'll just say 62K ordered. I did the math for you guys if you're not aware. Typically on a 1 in 25 for 60K ordered, you're looking at a 4%, which is 60K, which is about 3,400 copies estimated ballpark. That's for the Declan Shalvey. Well, this is a 1 in 100, and in a 1 in 100, Matthew, you kind of look at it as a 1% of the estimated orders by retailers, give or take a few, 10 or 100 or whatever, which we'll say 62K. So that's what, 620 copies of this 1 in 100 in circulation. And of the 1 in 25 Declan Shalvey, there's about 2,400, give or take, 2,500 copies in circulation, so you guys know. And these are estimated numbers. Here's the census on the 1 in 100 I wanted to share with you guys. There are 21 copies graded, 1 signature series 9.8, 10 blue label 9.8s, and then the rest are 9.0 to 9.6. So low pop on there. Nice. Here is the non-lenticular Daredevil $5.95. It's not the greatest cover art, but I love these Marvel Legacy non-lenticulars. They are so cool. And Daredevil number $5.95, second print non-lenticular. Love these Marvel Legacy non-lenticular second printing. 0 copies graded CGC 9.8 blue label nor yellow label on the CGC census. So this book has not hit the census yet. Comicron.com reporting 850 estimate copies ordered by retailers. So this is basically a ghost book. I always go by 3K or less in circulation because according to Ultra Maximus, who worked at a comic book store during a lot of this time, he says that that Marvel had to order retailers had to order at least 3,000 copies for a late printing to be published. So I just go by that as a worst case scenario. $19.99 was the last sale on eBay. There was 1 or 2 that sold over the weekend. There's only 2 listings for this as well. All right, guys, that was the comics. I'm glad you guys stayed. Thank you for that. Let's go ahead and get into the chat before we get into the market report on cards. Let's see here. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. Jersey of the Bay says the Righteous Flipper. Remember the What If Miles was Cap? Wasn't there a female Cap around that time too? I can't remember. She was on a motorcycle cover. Yes, her name started with a D, right? It wasn't American Dream. It was shit. I know. I have a bunch. I ordered a bunch. So good call on that one. That was another one. Righteous Flipper says I have been picking up those modern issues on the cheap. I think he's talking about the Daredevil. He said, yes, Hildebrandt brothers are fantastic artists. Their science fiction, fantasy work, and superhero art are off the charts. Love those cards they did as well. Don't forget Star Wars. Righteous Flipper says he is so underrated as an artist by the modern comic community. I always chuckle when people discover these great comic book artists' work. The Righteous Flipper also says, yes, Bill Sienkiewicz, New Mutants were masterpieces. Jersey of the Bay, thank you for the comment as well. I give up. I've been looking everywhere for that damn cover. Okay, cool. Check eBay. I'm telling you, the book is cold. You probably find it for a really good copy. I mean, I only have like 625 subs, so it's not like what I'm saying is going to go viral or, like a key collector alert or something like that. So you should be able to get a good deal after the show. Oh my God, thank you. Okay, I was going crazy. All right, cool. All right, guys. So it is now time for the Sports Card Investor Market Report, brought to you by Sports Card Investor. I am now sponsored by, or not sponsored, but affiliated by Sports Card Investor, and I will have a discount code for you guys. Along with, also I'm affiliated now with Gemini Comics mailers. I will have a 10% discount code for you guys at the next show as well. I just turned in my affiliation papers today. It was approved. So, yeah, so you'll be able to get 10% off on your Geminis, and you'll also be able to get, I think, 20% off this Sports Card Investor. Plus, you get 2 weeks for free for the market movers. So, yeah, you should like that. You'll enjoy that. All right, let's go ahead and get into this real quick. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, so it looks like the Tyrese Maxey 2020 Don Russ. This is the choice parallel. Is the number one market mover right now in sports cards. It says the last 30 days, but this is actually from the last 2 weeks, the last 14. There was a sale for $25, which is a $17.50 change. So I wouldn't look too much into that because it looks like an outlier, but I'm guessing that this is about a $10 to $12 card raw, and a PSA 10s. You can get this card in a PSA 10. There's for just under $100, which I think is cool. I really like Tyrese Maxey. I think he's a good investment. He's dirt cheap right now. Let me bring this back up. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. All right. Here is the next card on the slate. We have the oops, my bad. Let's see. Can you guys see that? You see that? Oh yeah, you can see that. Okay, good. All right, that's the LeBron James 2019 Mosaic number 8 base. Looks like another outlier sale. I hate it that it hits these lists like this. Somebody bought one for $23.50, but this is like a dollar card. I don't know. I wouldn't look too much into this. Let me look into the PSA 10s. Yeah, I mean, you can get a PSA 10 of this for like $17.50. So that doesn't even really make any not sense, but it just I wouldn't look too much into that. Let's get into this a little bit further here. How do I do this? All right. This is one I want to show you guys right here. You guys are going to like this. Oh, fuck. This is the Mac Jones 2021 Silver. Now, this is one you guys need to keep an eye on because I know you guys are making fun of me and saying, oh, you guys thought Mac Jones was the best and this and that. I didn't think he was the best. I just thought he was the real deal. But this card right here is heating up. I don't know why. There might have been some news, but I mean, this was like a $30 to $50 card at one point. It dropped down all the way to about $5 to $6 because he didn't have the best season. But there's a couple sales, one for $22.50 for this silver card, which is very affordable. I think is a good play before football season. And PSA 10s for the Mac Jones 2021 silver parallel. You can get one for as low as $175, which isn't bad. Here is the next card. This is the Bruce Lee 2007 Topps Allen and Ginter base card. This card sells pretty good. Raw copies of this card sell at least 2 or 3 a week for between $10 up to about 20. There's a 49.9% change in this card in fair market value. So it was basically a $12 card. Now it's a $18 card solid. I really like entertainment card, non-sports trading cards outside of TCG. I think it's pretty cool. We did the Mac Jones already. Here is the Lamar Jackson 2022 Mosaic Silver National Pride. Looks like an outlier sale. Looks like somebody was dumb enough to pay $20 for a dollar card. I wouldn't look too much into that. There are no copies of this card on the PSA Pop. Okay, I don't know if you guys heard, but Anthony Rendon's in trouble. He used to play for Washington. He was traded to the Angels. He's been nothing but a disappointment, but I want to show you guys this right now. His cards are actually heating up, but he's been suspended by Major League Baseball for this right here. Let's go ahead and do this.
Is investigating a confrontation between a Los Angeles Angels player and an A's fan that took place at the Oakland Coliseum last night. Video shows third baseman Anthony Rendon grabbed the fan through the guardrails, accusing the man of heckling him. KTVU's Amber Lee is live in Oakland with that video. And Amber, you spoke to someone who witnessed the whole thing.
That's right, Greg. The man tells me he's speaking out to give a more complete picture of the incident. He says the video does not show everything that happened.
This video posted on social media appears to show Los Angeles Angels player Anthony Rendon grab an A's fan by his shirt, accuse the man of calling him an expletive, and attempt to hit him. A baseball fan tells me he was sitting behind the young man grabbed by Rendon.
A little stunned, I guess. It was just like took a minute to process. You just don't expect to see that. Everybody was a little stunned, like, wow, did that really just happen?
Michael Gailey says the game had just ended and that Rendon specifically looked for that fan.
He seemed like very adamant. He knew that it was him. He wasn't like searching around. He went like right after this kid, and you can see like he took the swipe at him, and they break apart. And the dad, the kid, and his friend left pretty quickly.
Gailey says what the video does not show is what happened a few minutes later.
Anthony Rendon did come back down the tunnel, and he came back to the same spot up against the gate, and he was looking for the kid. And you could tell that he like realized that he had made a mistake. He wasn't like agitated or aggressive. It was like, hey, where'd he go? Or like, I think he wanted to apologize to him.
I asked Gailey how he knew Rendon came back to apologize.
When the altercation happened, he was like very aggressive and like agitated. And when he came back, he was like much more calm and reserved.
Gailey shared a video he took during the game, which he says shows the young man in a green cap targeted by Rendon. Gailey says he doesn't know that fan and that he did not see him and the two people he was with heckle Rendon at any time.
He was like super kind and gracious to the fans that were in the area when he came back.
Wow. Man, that is just, I don't know, man. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, Rendon cards are on the bump right now, but they should dip because he's suspended. All right. So back into the top market moving cards. Here is the Bo Bichette 2020 Topps foil rookie card. You could have got this for between $1 to $10. Now it's basically a $20 card. There was a sale of $18.50 with $11 change, which is 147% bump on the fair market value. Vladdy Guerrero 2019 Topps Heritage number 504 base rookie card. This card in a raw, you could have got it for 99 cents up to about $6.50, but now it has 122% change with two recent sales, one for $11.50 up to $14.40. This is the Rosman Verdugo, a 2022 Bowman Chrome Sapphire Edition, first Bowman prospect. There are no copies of this Rosman Verdugo Sapphire first Bowmans on the PSA census or pop, but there's a couple raw ones that sold recently for $1 to $2, and then there was another sale for $13.49. I'd probably look at that as an outlier, but keep an eye on Rosman Verdugo. He could be heating up. This could be just the beginning. Here is the Anthony Edwards 2020 Illusions base from his rookie season. This is card number 152. This card was selling for about $2. There's a sale for $20.51. Keep your eye on that. That's 720% change on that. Could be an outlier, but he has been playing very well. Let's check the PSA 10s, what they go for. PSA 10s are on the move. You could have got one for for about $22 to $23, about $25, $27 shipped. And that was a fall from about $45, almost like a 60% fall. Now it's back on the bump for the fair market value, and there's a recent sale of $32 on that card. Here is a bird's eye view of your top, I guess you could say, I don't know, 50 top trending cards. You have the Adley Rushman, Bowman, first Bowman Chrome Draft, some Ohtani rookie cards, Zion Williams. There is the Matt Boldy Young Guns, which I really like a lot. He is going to be a very good hockey player. There's the Anthony Volpe, first Bowman Chrome, the Jerry Rice 86 base rookie card. Here's the Jordan Walker 2020 Bowman Draft Chrome Refractor. All these cards are moving up. I wanted to share them with you. Volpe made his debut over the weekend. And that's it, guys. That's all I got for you. I'm glad that you stayed and joined. Make sure you like, subscribe, and double click the notification bell to also you get all my notifications. But we have some cool card videos and comic speculation stuff planned for 2023. So I appreciate you guys and everything you've done to support me and my friends. I appreciate it, and take care, everyone.